Did you know that John D. Rockefeller was the world's first billionaire and the man who controlled 90% of the oil in the United States? On this channel, we will unveil the secrets and hidden tactics that propelled Rockefeller to the pinnacle of power, exploring his life from humble beginnings to becoming a business legend. Get ready to uncover the dark side of the oil magnate, his secret maneuvers, and the philanthropic legacy that transformed the world. Subscribe and join us on this journey to the heart of Rockefeller's empire. Hello, everyone, and welcome to The King of Business. On this channel, we will explore the fascinating life and enduring legacy of the oil magnate, John D. Rockefeller. Through a series of detailed videos, we will delve into his childhood, his business career, the key dates in his life, and the impact he had on the world of business and philanthropy. Get ready for a captivating journey through the life of one of the most influential men in the history of the United States and the world. The first billionaire, the story of John D. Rockefeller. Owen Davison Rockefeller was born on July 8, 1839, in Richford, New York, USA. From a young age, Rockefeller showed a remarkable talent for business, selling candy and working various minor jobs to help his family. Throughout his life, he would become one of the most emblematic figures of American capitalism, known for his fundamental role in creating the modern petroleum industry. Rockefeller grew up in a family of modest means. His father, William Avery Rockefeller, was a traveling salesman, and his mother, Eliza Davison, was a devout homemaker. From an early age, Rockefeller demonstrated a keen business acumen and an unyielding work ethic. He attended Central High School in Cleveland, Ohio, and later took a bookkeeping course at Folsom's Commercial College. Although his formal education was limited, his autodidactic capabilities and determination propelled him far in the business world. In 1863, Rockefeller invested in an oil refinery in Cleveland, Ohio, alongside Maurice B. Clark. 3 years later, he bought out Clark's share and partnered with Samuel Andrews, a chemist with experience in refining oil. In 1870, along with Henry M. Flagler and other partners, Rockefeller founded the Standard Oil Company. The company stood out for its strategic focus on vertical integration, controlling every aspect of oil production, refining, and distribution. Under Rockefeller's leadership, Standard Oil implemented innovative and sometimes controversial business practices, such as price-fixing agreements and secret rebates with railroads, which allowed him to reduce costs and eliminate competition. By 1882, Standard Oil had become the first great monopoly in the United States, controlling about 90% of the country's refineries and pipelines. This consolidation of the oil market not only increased the company's efficiency and profitability, but also provoked significant scrutiny from the government and the public. John D. Rockefeller was not only a pioneer in the business world, but also a committed philanthropist. Throughout his life, he donated more than $500 million to various causes, including education, public health, and scientific research. He founded the University of Chicago in 1890 with an initial donation of $600,000 and continued to support it with millions more. He also established the Rockefeller Institute for Medical Research, now Rockefeller University, in 1901 and the Rockefeller Foundation in 1913, which has funded countless projects in health, education, and the arts. Rockefeller's contributions to education include the creation of the General Education Board, which promoted the improvement of schools in the southern United States, and significant donations to other educational institutions such as Spelman College. His interest in public health led to the funding of the eradication of hookworm in the southern United States and the improvement of sanitary conditions worldwide. The impact of John D. Rockefeller on the petroleum industry and modern capitalism cannot be underestimated. His ability to consolidate and control the oil market forever changed the way business was conducted in the United States. However, his dominance also led to the implementation of antitrust laws, which seek to prevent the kind of monopoly he had created. The Sherman Antitrust Act of 1890 was a turning point in the regulation of monopolies in the United States, and the dissolution of Standard Oil in 1911 set an important precedent in the enforcement of these laws. Rockefeller and Standard Oil revolutionized the petroleum industry by implementing efficient business practices and creating a distribution network that lowered the cost of oil for consumers. These innovations not only benefited Standard Oil, but also set standards that other oil companies would follow. Rockefeller's influence on the U.S. economy was also felt in the legal realm. The Sherman Antitrust Act and the eventual dissolution of Standard Oil were crucial steps towards regulating corporate power in the United States. These events underscored the need for a balance between business growth and the protection of public interest. John D. Rockefeller's father, William Avery Rockefeller, known as Big Bill, led a life full of secrets and controversies. Big Bill called himself Dr. William Rockefeller, although he had no medical training. He earned a living selling miracle cures and was said to have a charismatic yet deceptive personality. His nomadic lifestyle and questionable business dealings left an indelible mark on young John D. Rockefeller, who, unlike his father, sought stability and order in his own businesses. The meteoric rise of Standard Oil to market dominance was fraught with business tactics that would be highly controversial today. Rockefeller and his team used strategies like secret rebates with railroads and price-fixing agreements to eliminate competition. These practices led to accusations of monopolistic practices and ultimately government intervention. The shadow of these tactics still hangs over Rockefeller's legacy, leaving many wondering just how far he went to secure his empire. Despite his immense wealth, Rockefeller led a relatively modest life and was known for his deep religiosity and commitment to philanthropy. However, some people question whether his generosity was a way to redeem his public image after harsh criticism of his business practices. Was Rockefeller's philanthropy a public relations strategy, or a genuine expression of his desire to improve society? This dilemma adds a layer of mystery to his legacy. The U.S. Supreme Court's decision in 1911 to dissolve Standard Oil into 34 independent companies not only marked the end of a monopoly, but also raised many questions about the future of Rockefeller's empire. Although he lost direct control over Standard Oil, Rockefeller retained significant stakes in the resulting companies, many of which became giants in their own right, such as ExxonMobil and Chevron. The complexity of this dissolution and its impact on the global oil market remain topics of great interest and speculation. Over the years, conspiracy theories have emerged suggesting that Rockefeller and other magnates of his era had hidden influence over global politics and economics. Some believe there are secret documents revealing plans to control various industrial and financial sectors beyond what is publicly known. While many of these theories lack concrete evidence, the aura of mystery and power surrounding Rockefeller continues to fuel fascination with his life and activities. John D. Rockefeller is widely recognized as the world's first billionaire in dollars. In 1916, his personal fortune surpassed $1 billion, an astounding figure for the time. Adjusted for today's inflation, his wealth would be equivalent to hundreds of billions of dollars, placing him among the richest men of all time. Despite his reputation as a ruthless businessman, Rockefeller began practicing philanthropy by donating 10% of his income to charitable causes from a young age. His devotion to philanthropy grew along with his fortune, culminating in the donation of more than $500 million throughout his life for education, health, and other charitable causes. Rockefeller was known for his discipline and strict daily routines. He woke up early, exercised, worked in his garden, and took long walks every day. He attributed his longevity and good health to these regular habits. He lived to the age of 97, an advanced age for the time. Despite his immense wealth, John D. Rockefeller led a relatively modest life. He resided in a large but not extravagant house at Kykwit, his estate in the Hudson Valley, New York. Even at the height of his fortune, he is said to have maintained frugal habits, such as keeping a notebook to record every cent he spent. Rockefeller was one of the principal benefactors in the founding of the University of Chicago in 1890. Although initially reluctant to associate his name with the university, his considerable financial support was crucial to its establishment and growth. Today, the University of Chicago is one of the most prestigious academic institutions in the world. It is said that Rockefeller often carried a dime with him and gave it to children he met. He considered this act a symbol of generosity and a reminder of the importance of saving money. This habit became a famous anecdote and part of his personal legend. Rockefeller was obsessed with his health and well-being. He hired a personal dietitian and followed a strict diet to maintain his health. His typical breakfast consisted of whole wheat bread, milk, and fruit. He firmly believed in moderation and avoided foods high in fats and sugars. In addition to his contributions to science and education, Rockefeller also supported the arts. The Rockefeller Foundation, created in 1913, has funded a wide range of artistic and cultural projects over the years, helping to promote art in various forms and reaching a global audience. Through this channel, we hope to provide a comprehensive and in-depth view of John D. Rockefeller's life, exploring both his successes and controversies. His story is a testament to ambition, innovation, and the complexity of the entrepreneurial spirit. Thank you for joining us on this journey, and don't forget to subscribe for more content about the great business magnates.